Hey everybody, TacTat here. Today I'm here with my ISSC M22 22 long rifle pistol. I wanted to do a review of how I feel about this gun after 1 year of owning it. I've had this gun for slightly over a year and I've run about 3,000 rounds through it, and I wanted to share my perspective on how this gun performs and how I feel about my purchase. First things first, nothing in the magazine, nothing in the chamber. Okay, now let's go over some pros and cons. First we'll do the pros. Price has come down. When I initially got this one, I got this for $200 on Gunbroker. This gun initially was $400, $450 range. That was a little pricey, and I was not going to spend that kind of money on a 22 long rifle pistol. So now, a year later, which is right now it's August of 2015, these guns can be found for about $200. $199 range is typical, with small shipping fee and then probably a transfer fee, but that's not bad for this. I mean, that's actually a really good price. The only other one I would have bought for $200 is something like this, which is the Smith & Wesson 22A, and that one shoots nice, and I have shot that one before, but I didn't go with that choice mainly because of pro number 2. Pro number 2 is that this looks like a Glock. Very, very similar size to a Glock 19. As you can see, the sight picture is very similar to a Glock. This gun is so similar to a Glock, these guys actually got sued and they had to change a few things of this. One of the features they had to change was they had to round this off here on the trigger guard. But this still very much looks like a Glock. And like I said, that's one thing that was a plus to me. I shoot Glocks and I wanted a trainer. So for $200, I was like, this looks really good. I'm going to try this out. So that's what I went with. Number 3 has a match barrel, which is a standard feature. So this is a match grade barrel, stainless steel, and that really helps accuracy. So that's definitely a plus. Which brings us to the next plus or pro, which is accuracy and fun to shoot. This is pretty accurate. I've shot 35 yards away, 12-inch circles, and it's fine. This is very accurate, I'd have to say. The sights are right in the center and don't have to adjust them at all, and it's a lot of fun. 22 is going to be a lot of fun to shoot because it's light recoil and it is a lot of fun. So no complaints there. Lots of safety features. Well, for the safety conscious, this has, this has a thumb safety. So right there, safety's on, and it won't shoot, it won't cycle, and now it's ready to fire. But even with that ready to fire, it will not shoot until the hammer is cocked back. If the hammer's not back, this will not shoot. And this safety also doubles as a decocker. Moving along, the trigger has this slot here, and inside the case there's a key. You turn the key, and this is a trigger safety, so you will lock this out when you're storing it. Another safety feature is the trigger. Similar to a Glock or an M&P, you must depress the center to move the trigger back. And finally, you must have a magazine in the weapon, or else it will not shoot. Okay, so easy to break down and clean. Unlike some other 22s that are really a pain, the Smith & Wesson 22A is not a fun gun to take apart because things can fly around and get lost really easy. This is really easy to take apart. You pull down on the two tabs and you pull the side back and off. and that's it. Then you've got this, a spring, and the frame, and that's it. Nothing else to take apart. So that's really, really nice. Really, really nice feature. Another pro is ATI, American Tactical, has really good customer service. Okay, that sort of brings me into the cons, but I'll just say for now that ATI is really good at customer service. They'll take care of you, and they'll fix your gun and send it back to you, and it'll work. So that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right, this brings me into the cons. One big con: only comes with one magazine. Okay, so you get one 10-round magazine. Used to be for $450, now for $200. It's a little bit better, but still, the issue with that is the magazines are expensive and extremely hard to find at this point. Like I said, August of 2015, there's hardly anyone that sells this magazine that has it in stock. This magazine on the ATI website, and I say American Tactical because they're the ones now that import this weapon, they have it for $39.99, but of course it's out of stock. I've seen these go for $45 used on eBay, and everywhere else is sold out. The only place that had them at a decent price at one point was CNN or CSN Sports? Let me think here. Those guys had it for $26.95. CDNN Sports. Sorry, guys. CDNN Sports had it for $26.95. But they don't sell it anymore. First, they had it out of stock for the longest time, and now they don't sell it. So, to get spare magazines, like I said, doing a steel match, and doing a steel match, you get to shoot the same targets 5 times. And with a 10-round magazine, there's 5 targets usually. You kind of want to have at least 3 or 4. I have 5, so that way I don't have to worry about reloading and holding up the game for everyone else. So if you want to find 4 more of these, that's $40 or $50 each, and then you have to find them somewhere. So that is a big negative, I have to admit. I mean, you're almost better off buying 2 guns to get 2 magazines, which is kind of ridiculous, but is a major drawback at this point. I don't know if they just backed up on orders or if they're going to come back in stock, but $40 is kind of steep, and $45 and $50 is even worse. And so that's something you should know. The grip is small. Okay, that is true. This grip is very thin. This is not like any backstrap of Gen 4. This is like sort of like a single stack of was it the Glock 42 and the Glock 43, kind of. I don't have one of those to compare, but this is very thin, a lot thinner than my 26 or my 19. So I'm thinking this is more in line with the 42 and the 43. So that might be a good option if you want one of those, because this is kind of thin. So my whole grip is different on this gun than in my standard 9mm. So that is a negative for me, because I'm not holding it the same way. So I'm kind of not training the same way. What else? These guns usually need work. Okay. I've seen a lot of guys on YouTube, and even some of the guys on my gun club have had these and have had issues. The one guy I know at the gun club, he got rid of his. He said he doesn't like to have to work on his guns. So I understand that. So this definitely is not for someone who just wants to buy a gun, take it out to range, start shooting, putting it away, and then a couple of weeks later, a month later, take it out, start shooting again. This is not for you if that's what your thoughts are. If you're someone who likes to, enjoys taking time to know their gun, work on their gun, clean their gun, this is geared more towards you. Now, I did a bunch of things to this before I sent it in for service, and basically I had issues with light strikes. Even with CCI mini mags, I would get light strikes, And it got to the point where I could not shoot an entire 10-round magazine without having at least one malfunction. Malfunctions typically included failure to feed or the round not going off at all. Now, when you send this in to get fixed to ATI, they will fix the extractor and they will fix the hammer spring. When they did that with mine, I had no more issues. I shot 100 and some odd rounds during the whole match on this, and I had one failure to fire, just one. So that's awesome, because there was a point in time where, like I said, this was sort of like a training pistol on how to handle malfunctions, because it would be bang, bang, click, and then rack the slide, bang, click, rack the slide, bang, 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 click, rack the slide. So that was just horrible. I had a really bad taste in my mouth at that point, and so I resisted sending it in, because it is a pain. You don't want to send your gun away for a month and not see it, and then hope that they fix it. But these guys took care of me. They fixed it. They didn't charge me anything, and it works great now. It works awesome. So my only regret was I didn't send it in sooner. Okay, so there you have it. You must clean this gun every 200 to 300 rounds, and it's very finicky on ammo. So, sort of alluded to that before. You probably should clean this gun every time you use it. So you go out, and typically you go to shooting range on 22. I mean, you'll blow through 200 rounds easily. Okay, take it home, clean it, and take care of it. Get a snake, get a bore snake, and clean out the snake. Clean out the barrel, I should say. I usually only shoot CSAM mini mags through here, because that's what works all the time. Lead or non-jacketed rounds will get this gun even dirtier. So I mean, Blazer does work, so do Remington Golden bullets. So I use those sparingly. I mainly use CSAM mini mags on this. Now, even after they fix it in the factory, okay, I'm going to show you a few other things that you're going to want to take care of. Okay, I took some mother's polish, and I polished up this feed ramp. You can see there the feed ramp is, and right now it's dirty. The feed ramp is silver, shiny silver when it's perfectly clean. This used to be black in there, just black paint. So I went with mother's polish with my hand. You can use a Dremel, but I just used my hand and a cloth, and one night in front of watching TV, it just kept doing it over and over again for literally almost 2 hours during the whole movie, until this whole thing was shiny, shiny silver. I have not had a failure to feed since then. I also did the same thing with a Q-tip inside the chamber. I have not had a failure to feed since then. Okay, every once in a while I'd have one failure to feed or two, but ever since I did that, I polished that went away. That doesn't happen at all. The only issues I ever had with this gun is, the main issues is the failure for the gun to go off, failure for the round to go off, and that was because of a weak hammer spring, which they fixed. I also polished up this part of the hammer just because it makes it a lot smoother for the slide to come back and forth. So a little less resistance here. I polished that, and I went ahead and I didn't need to do this, but just to, since I had the mother's polish in my hand, I shined this entire barrel, because this was a lot dull looking than it is now. Now it's very, very shiny, and that's just a nice little look, So you definitely, when you clean this, you want to put some solvent down in here, and you don't want to leave it like this either. What I do is I'll put some solvent down there, and then I put the magazine in, empty magazine obviously, and I pull the trigger so I don't leave the hammer cocked back while I'm cleaning it. Okay, because you don't want to do that. You'll start to wear out that spring. So move that forward, and then put a little more solvent maybe in the back there, because there's crud that gets in there, Then of course you bore snake through the barrel, and clean up the slide. I use frog lube, and the liquid spray frog lube in there. Works really well. You can use anything you like, it doesn't matter, but you are going to need to clean this gun after every time. So, you know, if you don't mind that ritual, which I actually enjoy that ritual, you know, a couple hours of shooting, you go home, and then you take it apart and you sort of polish it up and get it ready for the next time. You know, that's sort of like a ritual I have, and it's enjoyable. You know, it's time spent and relaxing. I consider that relaxing. So, you know, that doesn't bother me at all. I typically would do that anyway. So, final thoughts. I don't regret buying it, and now that it's fixed, I enjoy it. I really would not change this for any other 22 on the market, except possibly if I owned MMPs, I would go ahead and get an MMP 22, because those have the same frame as their 9mm or 40 caliber counterparts. So that would truly be a training pistol. But I don't have an MMP, and I have this now working. I have 5 mags for it, so I like it. I like it a lot, and I'm keeping it. And there you have it. So for what it's worth, you do have to go through some hoops to get this working right the way you would want to, and basically you want a gun that is reliable, that shoots when you want it to shoot, and you're able to have fun and not have to worry about, oh my gosh, is it going to jam on my 5th round that I'm shooting. So you do have to go through a few hoops to do that, but once that happens, you know, this is an awesome gun. This is like I said, 3,000 rounds, and it shoots great. It shoots fantastic. So that's it. For what it's worth, those are my 2 cents. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave some comments below if you like, or questions, and until next time.